And Riza will now serve, tied at 1 in the third set. Hartung. That rat-a-tats around. Dorsey gets it over. Olivao, Uyato, and it will be a net violation. Or back row attack.
Pass by Olivao, just too tight to the net. Uyato's a back row player. She cannot go above the net and put it down.
2-1, Riverside. That's an ace. That went off Olivao. That gets the attention of Dave Shoji. Almost as if to say, I've given you this opportunity, you have to make the most of it.
And Megan Riza picks up her third ace of the night.
Riza serving into the net. So you just say she picks up her third ace and she puts it into net. You don't feel guilty about that?
Did I jinx her? You thought I jinxed her? I was honoring and praising her for the 3 aces. She's the only Highlander to get an ace tonight.
Here's Grossen. She gets it in. That ball hit over by Villalpando. Olivao. That's in. Olivao went to the deep corner.
You know, this game is important for Olivao, in my opinion. She had that starting position for a while on the right side, and now she's going to try to regain it with shots like that over the block in the deep corner. Great location.
Grossen. Grossen gets it in. That ball hit by Dorsey. Dorsey, after a very short set, gets that ball down.
Tyler Dorsey, the 6-footer out of La Puente, does a nice job up front. When she gets that quick set, she is very, very effective.
Sandy Fung now has come in, and she is the libero for Riverside. Chuaninga just kind of rolled it over. That ball hit into the net, however, by Cox. That's 4 hits. So we are tied at 4 in the third set. Maeda will go back to serve. Stephanie Higgins has come in. Right in the middle. That ball hit into the net that time by Villalpando.
Passing for Riverside starting to break down a little bit. Their passes are off the net. It's becoming very predictable where the set has to go. Boys getting their blockers up, at least 2 almost every time.
Maeda serving. Got by Fung, but she shanks it. That's saved by Villalpando. Ball is slid over by Cox. Uyato, and that's just a miss hit by Higgins.
When I saw Uyato and Higgins in warm-ups, they look very sharp, clean connections. This time it's a swing and a miss, strike 1.
Tied at 5, Villalpando serving. Dug up by Grossen. Ball hit by Olivao. Fung gets it. And that ball is hit by Cox.
Net violation on Hartung.
So it is 6-5 Riverside. We've seen many different lineups for Hawaii tonight. Dug up by Maeda. Uyato short set. And Higgins didn't make great contact, but enough to get the point.
See, she's hitting .411 on the year. That's a huge number, that kill percentage. That's like a batting average. Very, very good average.
Hartung serving. Ball dug up by Villalpando. There's Dorsey. No, excuse me. There's White on the step out. Oh, that's Anisha McCoy just into the game. That was a surprise. She was hiding behind everybody when she hit that. Dorsey off the cable, saved by Higgins. Uyato goes out to Olivao. That's chased down. Ball hit by Cox. Cox just solved Higgins. And Uyato easily that time, and it's 8-6. Riverside leading by 2 in the third set.
I'm really surprised that Cox doesn't get a block more. She has 2 blockers up on her all the time. but she finds a way to wiggle the ball through the block. Picks up kill number 7.
Serving again is Dorsey. Uyato goes to Hartung. Hartung hits it into the block. And now it's 9-6 in favor of Riverside. Dorsey was part of that.
And I think Cox got a lot of it too.
Yeah, and Cox, not Dorsey, but Cox, I should say. Five-point run for Riverside. And a violation?
Why he was out of rotation. There was overlapping going on. Dave Shoji not happy, so they call a timeout.
Hawaii not performing well at all. They are down by 4. Let's go inside the numbers presented by Burger King. 126,827. That's Hawaii's home attendance this season, the 19th consecutive season leading the NCAA. Congratulations to everybody. That ball will be returned. Hit by Cox. Croson, Uyato. There's Olivao. Olivao gets the point, and Hawaii closes the deficit to 3. Longo will come in. Longo comes in for Olivao. Maeda remains on the floor at the libero. Longo will serve. Hagen's in the middle. Serving is Longo. Step out. That ball is hit by McCoy. That ball hit by Cox. Hartung, Uyato, Croson. Ooh. Croson just, she massaged that ball.
That was an excellent transition that time from defense to offense. And Croson had a lot of line to hit there, and she uses all of it.
Longo continues to serve. Longo in for catch-up purposes, that's for sure. And that will be rat-a-tatted around. Does that qualify as an ace? Yes, it does. So Hawaii has cut a 4-point deficit to 1. 9 serving 10. Longo will continue to serve. Serves it long. 11-9, Riverside.
That one got away from her big time. It just took off.
Van Dongen, Kristen Van Dongen into serve for Riverside. Hartung Uyato, step out Hagen. And right there was Cox. Cox with a solo block.
Hagen's at 6'4", got blocked by the smallest Highlander at 5'4". Great play by Ashley Cox.
12 serving 9. Van Dongen, that's an ace. That goes off Hartung. Hagen's may have poached a bit. May have poached into Hartung's area, and she misjudged it. 13 serving 9. Hawaii to a 4-point deficit again. There's Croson. That ball is shanked into the stand. That ball went off of Van Dongen. There you see Cindy Lewis, one of the writers for the Bulletin advertising, or whatever they call it. I forget, what do they call it?
Star advertising.
There you go. There you go. Ginger Long serves it into the net again. We got to put Ginger Long on a couch. We've got to put her on the couch. She was so good. She never made a mistake. She's in a slump. 5,920 watching this final match.
Kudos to the crowd, I'm telling you. On a Friday night after all that shopping.
There's Croson. Croson nubs it off the block, gets the point. And Hawaii really scrambled to get that to her. So Uyato, who has been very productive when she serves, back to serve again. 11 serving 14 here in the third. Borges goes to Villalpando. Here's Croson, just a little touch. That ball saved. Down the middle comes Cox. Cox hits it off of Tuininga. Back out to a 4-point lead for Riverside.
Cox, even at 5'4", hitting out of the back row is effective. You see how high she gets up? Oh, wow, she's got some major hops.
Serving is Risa. And that's an ace. 16-11. Riverside leads here in the third. This is their biggest lead. Risa serves it again. Hawaii in trouble again. Getting the ball over is Maeda. That ball is hit over by Villalpando. To Ininga. So Tuininga finally ends the carnage here. Riverside leading 16-12. Hawaii back to a 4-point deficit.
I'm going to give Riverside some credit for serving aggressively about the last 10 points. They're stepping back and really being aggressive. They've got a lot of aces, and they've forced bad passes on Hawaii's part.
Croson gets it in. That ball dug up, but overpass, and right there, Tuininga. Tuininga gets it down, makes up the point. So it is now 13 serving 16. Croson back to serve again. Ron Larson would love to win this set. Love to. Serving again. That ball is dug up by Fung. And then hit into the block by Villalpando. And right there was Tuininga. And also Hartong.
It's a pretty good block up there. 6'2", 6'3". Both of them good jumpers. Four hands across.
14, serving 16. Fung. Borges. Ball hit over by Cox. Croson saves. Popped in the air. Getting the ball over is Hartong. Big hit. Did it go off the block? It did. It did. It did. So credit Villalpando.
See if you see the touch right here as the ball is hit right. It's hard to tell in that replay, but I think it did get Hartong's pinky. Dermatological touch, as you like to say.
That's it. Borges hits it. Hits it out.
Speaking of Ron Larson, that guy right there, you know, he actually coached 3 games in the 2008 Beijing Olympics when Hugh McCutcheon, remember they had his death of his father-in-law.
Serving is Maeda in the air by Fung. Borges. That ball is hit over by Villalpando. There's Croson. That ball comes over. It's good. Maeda is there. Uyato goes to Olival. That's dug up by Cox. They set up Villalpando, and that's blocked. Blocked by Hagen. And also Hartong.
One of the better played points of the night by the Rainbow Wahine. Some good digging. Finishing up with some good blocking by Stephanie Higgins, a transfer from Washington State.
16-17, Hawaii down by 1. For the latest information on UH athletics, go to hawaiiathletics.com for UH news, tickets,